Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jennifer. I'm so happy to have you. We have to get into it, okay? We have to get into this, but we're going to get into this together. I know this video is infuriating on so many levels. I'm going to discuss why it's so infuriating on so many levels. And yeah, sorry, bad hair day today, but I had to pop on. I had to pop on. Like, share, and subscribe. So we will get into all the intricacies of this, why it is blood boiling. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you, well, I can't make you, but I'm going to try to help you feel better about this. We are going to feel better about this video. We really are. I know it's infuriating. I just want to set you up for what you're listening to. I have my notes here that I made, my outline. So what she is doing is she is speaking to young mental health advocates. They are of university age, and they are associated with an Australian organization called Batyr. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Batyr. And it's a youth mental health type organization that helps students. I believe they target people from early adolescence all the way up to age 30 with lived storytelling is what they call it, where they take young people, train them to be young mental health advocates so they can train and coach other people that are struggling with mental health, online bullying, things like that. So that's who she's sitting with and talking to. So they share their experiences with other students, help them, cope, strategies, different things. But what I want to say, just first off, is that you cannot safely or realistically compare Meghan Markle, who is a person who is a public persona. She's a public figure. You cannot compare someone like a Meghan Markle, who, by all accounts, has a raging PR machine behind her, someone who has carefully and strategically crafted her persona and her narrative for a decade, okay? Ever since she met and married into the family, she has been carefully crafting a narrative. She is someone that has had, global communication strategists who have been behind this woman, helping her craft her narrative with Netflix, with Spotify, on her 2 podcasts, have helped her husband with his memoir, his interviews, everything that he's done. So these are people that she's meeting with that are young adults, university students who are not in the world that Meghan is in. They are being targeted. If they are dealing with cyberbullying, they're being targeted on a peer-to-peer level privately. Whereas Meghan is a public figure who, because of her actions, because of what she does and what she says, she is subject to public criticism. And that is something I do not think that she has come to terms with for a decade. She doesn't seem to realize that when you do things, say things, you are opening a door to public criticism. Now, obviously, there is a difference between vitriol, hate, and just downright racism, which she has talked about that she has been a victim of. We all know and can recognize that type of awful thing. We know what just hate-fueled venom looks like. Reasoned, measured criticism of this woman is, I believe, in my personal opinion, 98% of what she gets. People are just fed up. They're fed up with what they have seen for a decade from her. And if she doesn't like that, then it is time to take a step back and evaluate why. Last year, I did a video and I put an Irish Catholic priest in the video, and I was reacting to it because he was reviewing With Love Meghan, and he was laughing, saying that the show was so unbelievably bad that it could be something that you could watch and kind of like offer up for Lent as like your Lenten offering to the Lord. It was so funny. I will link that video down in the description. And he was also saying in that video, I believe his name was Father Brennan, and he was saying, this wonderful, funny Irish Catholic priest was saying, fair enough, Harry has been through his level of trauma, whatever, what have you. But this woman, if she is such a target, if she has been targeted with so much criticism, you have to ask yourself why. You have to ask yourself, what is going on? has there ever been a moment, and this was a priest, a Roman Catholic priest asking this, has there ever been any moment, cause for pause, self-introspection, what is going on here? Because she's constantly talking about criticism and equating it with trolling. And I think there's a difference. And if she doesn't like the constant barrage of criticism, it's only because she is constantly bombarding us. I mean, like they are constantly bombarding us with puff pieces, with appearances, with books, with interviews, with shows. They are constantly vomiting on us. There hasn't been a week since they left the royal family in January 2020 where they have not been in the news in one way, shape, or form. So it's a constant barrage. If anything, the public feels that they are being trolled by these two. Can you think of any celebrity out there, anybody who is shoving themselves in front of cameras and magazines and like the way that these two, like this relentless PR machine that they have behind them? I have never in my God-given days seen anything like it. So when she's talking about, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. When she's talking about this purely malicious abuse, right? And then it's like cruelty for clicks, I believe is what she called it. And we'll watch the video in a second. You have to ask yourself, is it public feedback and criticism over the constant bombardment that her and her husband throw at us? Is it reasoned? Is it measured? I mean, it's not talking about the color of her skin. It's not talking about we hate her for no reason. People are asking questions like, why are, the Aussies, why are Australian taxpayer dollars being used to fund the policing for this trip? People want to know, why is it okay for Harry and Meghan to monetize their grief via their podcasts, their interviews, their books, their Netflix specials? Why is it okay for him to monetize and her to monetize their grief, to share private text message conversations between Princess Catherine and Meghan in his book? Like, why is all of that okay? Why are they allowed to go to children's hospitals and charities and pose with terminally ill children, yet they don't show their own? You see what I mean? They're just the king and queen of hypocrisy. And that's what people are talking about. So when she poses and she postures like the way she's doing here with these young kids, it's beyond infuriating. So what I want to do is I want to play it for you. Okay, I'm so fired up. You guys, I was so fired up watching this today. And I was out doing errands with my mom because we had to drive to the nearest military base here. And I had this video in the CarPlay watching this. And like, I was getting tense driving. And I'm like, I can't. But one thing I will tell you guys is I'll link a video from Proper Wiseguy. I love that guy. He's so funny. He's so funny. And he did a video, I think it was yesterday or today, where he's just singing about Meghan's feet. And, like, Lord, please forgive me. Like, please. Oh my gosh, this video was so funny. It was hysterical. I was cracking up. I'm going to link it. You guys have to go watch it. I mean, if you need to have a little bit of levity introduced here, just go watch that video. It's funny. And I will give him a shout out. I mean, he's got a way bigger channel than me, and it was really funny. I was texting with Paula M earlier today, and I was like, have you ever done a live with Proper Wiseguy? Like, you need to get this guy on your channel. I will totally photo bomb or like video bomb it. We need to get on a live with this guy and just he's hysterical. But anyway, side note, whatever. It's funny. I'll link it below. But I don't really know how crazy they're going to be with the rights to this. So I'll play a little and then I'll pause a little. But okay, here we go. So again, the whole point of this, I know I'm babbling, but I'm just going to tell you, the whole point of this is, I know it's infuriating. I get it. It's the constant reframing of the narrative, the constant posturing, I'm a victim. It's infuriating. So here we go. So let's just watch a little and then we'll talk a little. Okay, here we go.
10 years, every day for 10 years, I have been bullied and attacked, and I was the most trolled person in the entire world, man or woman. I'm still here. And
yes, Meghan, you are still here. By the grace of God, you are still here. And I will say that Meghan is a child of God. She is a child of God. And the way I'm going to help us all feel better about this, because when you look at this, of course, look where I pause it on here, but you're going to look at this person and you're going to think to yourself, this is a woman in serious, serious pain. She has been talking about being the most trolled person for what, at least 6-7 years now, where she's, I'm the most trolled person, feel sorry for me, blah, blah, blah. But then remember, she has two completely conflicting narratives going on, because when she was in her year of female business empowerment for 2025, she was constantly talking about how, she was in her zone of empowerment. She was a businesswoman. She was a creative. She just ignores the noise. She doesn't look at social media. She doesn't read social media. She's very fond of saying, if you don't give it 5 minutes, don't give it, or if you wouldn't give it 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes. She's constantly talked about how she has shielded herself and made sure that the people that surround her shield her from all the negativity. It doesn't bother her. She doesn't care about it. So if that is indeed the case, I ask you, what is she talking about? But anyway, back to what I was saying about her being a woman in pain. She is a woman in pain, you guys, because somebody that doesn't have a sense of self, doesn't have self-love, self-respect, and beyond that, a feeling of just comfort in the fact that you're here on earth because your creator wants you to be, and that you are loved, and that you do not need to seek outside validation from anyone, no one, except the Lord and the people that you are close to. And if you're, doing well in that sense, you're pretty much halfway there. So I'll start it again. But so again, with the whole victim narrative, I've been the most trolled person for going on 10 years. Feel sorry for me. Boo hoo, boo hoo. I'm sorry. No, this is and also remember, this is such a waste of a platform, So basically, she's had this platform for 10 years now, and she's still barking on about victimhood. She should not be sharing her victimhood story with these kids. She should be talking to them about their stories. And I hate to do the comparison game, but we have to do it. William and Catherine would not be talking about themselves. If Catherine was, well, actually she went to the Royal Marsden, because she is now patron, a hospital where she herself received cancer treatments. And myself, being a stage 3 rectal cancer survivor, I am biased, but I have a soft spot, of course, for the Princess of Wales, our beautiful Catherine, because she's a cancer survivor. She had young children while she was going through it. My twins were 4 when I was going through it. So I know what Catherine was dealing with 100%. And it's a lot. But when Catherine is around people that are going through cancer, active cancer, she will never, ever make it about herself. She is talking to them about their experiences. And that's what is so wonderful about her. And it's such a wonderful foil. But anyway, I know I'm babbling a lot, but hopefully that's why you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But so all of this. So this has been a decade now of this fake posture, self-effacing stance. And it's a waste of time. It's self-introspection to the extreme. And it's not anything that our Lord would approve of. And, mind you, we're all guilty of this. We all think that we're all the little center of our own universe, but that's not what we need to be doing. We need to be pointing our light outward. Okay. She needs to stop talking about herself. It's been 10 years. Enough. Okay, here we go.
10 years, every day for 10 years. I have been bullied and attacked, and I was the most trolled person in the entire world, man or woman. And I'm still here. And
even if that were the case, which it's not, because she's not being bullied, she's being criticized. But even if that were the case, who cares? Who cares? I ask you, close your computer screen, Meghan. Shut your phone off. Go spend some time with your kids. Go touch grass. Why don't you start a real charitable organization, not something like a foundation like Archwell, where, I've talked about this before. Foundations are only legally obligated to what? I mean, like it's a tiny percent that they're legally required under US tax law to donate. The rest, the huge amount that's left. And sorry, I don't know the actual percentages, but just look it up. Just look up tax law in the US, what foundations are legally obligated under tax laws to donate and they're allowed to keep. And you start realizing real quick the difference between a charity, a real true charitable organization, and a foundation. So if you're really here and wanting to care, you need to go look outward and maybe do something that can really benefit others.
so when I think of all of you and what you're experiencing, I think so much of that is having.
Okay, and Caddy Jennifer is just going to say here, and I mean, I know I do it too, but a lot of times I do it because like I'm just like still a little bit like every time I turn on the camera, I'm still a little bit nervous. And okay, maybe I should give Meghan grace for this because maybe she is too, because she knows she's under such scrutiny. But the way she flicks her hair, it's like, I'm like, oh gosh, like stop performing, please. Like just stop performing. Let me rewind it a little bit here. But like just the way she flicks her hair, and a lot of body language analysts always talk about when people like touch their nose a lot when they talk, that's an indication that they are lying or telling half truths. And that's one of her tells. She does it all the time, all the time.
All of you and what you're experiencing, I think so much of that is having to realize that, that industry, that $1 billion industry that is completely anchored and predicated on cruelty to get clicks, that's
okay. She talked about, hold on. Oh shoot, I went to the beginning, sorry. So she's talking about that the world of social media is cruel and it's predicated and anchored. She said anchored and predicated in cruelties because cruelty gets clicks. Well, I hate to tell you, Meghan, but you are firmly anchored and predicated in that industry as well. You participate in it as well. You are monetizing every outfit that you were wearing on this trip, Meghan. She invested in that OneUp company, that AI clothing fashion company. Every single outfit that she has worn on this trip has instantly been on that website for monetization. Okay. So she is also a participant in that world, that online world. And again, you can choose to ignore the criticism and ignore the haters. She's told us that she's done that in the past, and that's what she does to stay sane. Remember when she told us on the Jamie Kern-Lima podcast? Sorry, guys, I'm getting fired up. I'm at like an 8. I want to take it down to a 4. Geez, she's getting my heart rate up. Remember how remember how she told us that she's not going to play the prove it game anymore? Well, that is what she's doing here. She is talking directly to people like you and me that criticize her. People like you and me are actually nice, normal, reasoned, normal human beings that work for a living, that raise families. We're out there. We can tell a good person and we can tell a not so good person. We can tell a person with good intentions and we can tell a person who's got nefarious, not so good intentions. That's what we see when we look at her. Someone that is posturing, someone that is fake, someone that does not have righteous, good intentions. And that's why we criticize her. So she knows it. She feels it. She can't accept it. Whatever's going on in her psyche, and there's so many people that have called her a narcissist. I am one of those people that do firmly believe that she is although probably undiagnosed, malignant narcissist. They do have this inflated sense of self-importance absolutely no compassion for others. They have no capacity to look at others and sympathize or empathize with what they are going through. There is no remorse. There is just, everything is I. So what she is doing here is she is performing to people that criticize her, people like you, people like me. She is directly speaking to us. She's not speaking to those people, those young kids that she's surrounded by in that little circle, that little therapy circle. She's talking to us. There's two instances, and maybe you'll catch them, where she looks directly at the camera. But that's what this is. This is a speech. This is her speech to all of us. We're the problem. We're the problem. So when I was talking about wanting to make you guys feel better about this, feel better in the sense that personally, I feel as an undiagnosed narcissist, which what I believe Meghan is, because this behavior, this constant same shtick that she's been doing for a decade, she's doing the same thing and getting the same results, but still not understanding why. We feel that she's disingenuous. We feel she's trying to monetize. We feel that she's posturing. We feel that she's self-serving. Her actions prove that. But yet she doesn't see it. She sees our criticism as trolling, not reasoned or anything like that. So because she can't see why we're criticizing her, she has to paint as if we're the ones with the problem, we're the trolls, we're the haters, she's going to carry on. And that's what this is all about. So feel better about that. Feel better about knowing that what I'm going to say next might infuriate some of you. But I do believe in my heart of hearts it's true. And that's why I continue to pray for this woman. She's just doing the best she can. She really is just doing the best she can. This is the only way that Meghan knows how to cope, is to point the finger at us and say that we're the problem. So let me rewind a little bit. I'm so fired up about this, but fired up in a way that I'm just like, I feel like I'm in therapy with you guys right now. Like, let's just be in therapy together because whatever we're going to talk about today in this video, I guarantee you, I'm going to make you feel better about this woman. And she's constantly gaslighting us. Her and Harry constantly gaslight the public. They behave so badly and they constantly gaslight us, but we can't let them. We have to feel pity for this situation because this is all they know. And they're just doing the best that they can. And unfortunately, they're trying to monetize it at the same time. So here she is. Okay, yeah, she's the most trolled woman.
And so when I think of all of you and what you're experiencing, I think so much of that is having to realize that, that industry, that billion-dollar industry that is completely anchored and predicated on cruelty to get clicks,
she's participating in it, but I already said that.
It's not going to change. So you have to be stronger than that. And a friend of mine gave me every day for 10 years.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It keeps doing that. It keeps clicking back to the beginning. But did you notice that hair flick? What is with that? Just larger than life hair flick. It's like these gestures that she has to do. I think it's a nervous tick where she's concerned. I think she gets so nervous. She's not a very good actress. She's too in Meghan Markle's head. To be a really good actress like a Meryl Streep or a Gary Oldman, you have to almost die to yourself and become the character. So as to you yourself would be unrecognizable, but there's never a moment. And I've seen certain scenes of Suits that she's been in, and I always see Meghan. I never see the character. And that's why every single time she gives an interview or she talks or whatever she's doing, like now, she's always playing to the camera. She's not really talking to the people around her. She's just playing to the camera.
That is having to realize that, that industry, that billion-dollar industry that is completely anchored and predicated on cruelty to get clicks, that's not going to change. So you have to be stronger than that. And a friend of mine...
But remember, she's told us over and over in past interviews, and that's what she did all through 2025, is tell us that she doesn't care about the hate. She doesn't look at it. So what is she talking about? She can't really have it both ways, but okay, here we go with the hair flip. Here we go.
Gave me a little bag
That's a big hair flip. Okay, I'll shut up.
that had a quote on it that I had put on. And I look at it every single day.
So she's talking about something that a friend gave her, and she's going to tell the kids this inspirational quote. But she always does this, if you'll notice. She never takes ownership of anything. Like, for example, remember when she was talking about how Bella Bajari, who is, I think I said her name right, one of the content people over at Netflix, when she found out that Meghan is like the consummate hostess and sends gift baskets and loves to craft, blah, blah, blah. There's a show here, she said. Or like she talks about how like when she was making her jam and she was it's not jam, it's bread. But when she was making her stuff and sending it out to people, that they were like, oh my gosh, this is so fabulous. You should do it. Like she always says it's like people around her that say that she's so wonderful. Why don't you do this? It's like she never takes ownership of it. Personally, I don't think that anybody gave her a bag with a quote. What did she say? It was a bag with a quote on it or something? What did she say? A friend of mine gave me a little, what did she say?
Had a quote on it that I had put on.
A little bag. Okay. A little bag. The quote that she's going to quote is enormously long. How can you fit it on a little bag? So this is what I'm talking about. Meghan was probably feeling really crappy one night and Googling inspirational quotes to feel better. She was probably Googling inspirational quotes that she could rehearse and tell to this group of kids on camera while in Australia. That's why we're listening to this quote. And you know what's sad is I actually do like the quote, but I don't like the quote in the context that she's giving it to them. So, okay, she's telling them this quote that's apparently going to give them a steely reserve and insulate and protect them from online hate or bullies. So here's the quote.
I look at it every single day, and I would share it with you because sometimes I can imagine as you talk about depression or anxiety or the willingness or lack of appetite to even want to get out of bed or keep going.
Did you notice that she looked at the camera when she was talking about that? This is her plea. This is her telling us, you feel sorry for me because of all the criticism that you levy at me. I have depression. I have anxiety. I don't want to get out of bed. This is all a power play to disarm us, deflect, point the finger back at us, make us feel bad for saying we don't like what we're seeing here. We don't like the quasi-fake royal tours. We don't like the immediate monetization of the outfits. We don't like the fact that you're showing up to a children's hospital in Melbourne and those two children that she was talking to, those two sweet little girls in that crowd, there are pictures of those little girls wearing masks prior to when Harry and Meghan showed up. And then when Harry and Meghan are there posing for the cameras, the masks are gone. And I'm just wondering, and I know a lot of people online are wondering, what is going on? Like when a child is undergoing active treatment, their immune systems are down. I've undergone IV chemo and my immune system was down. And this was even before COVID, because I was going through my treatment in 2017, 2018. I remember wearing a mask during that time to help me. And that was even before masks were like, known and used at such a mass scale. So why are those children's masks being removed for a photo op? You are compromising their immunity and their treatment. Someone needs to contact the hospital and find out what's going on there. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is just, I even lost my train of thought. I'm so ticked off about it. But point being, like, oh yeah, now I know what I was talking about. Just people are pissed. People are pissed because we don't like what we see. I saw that and I was like, that little girl had a mask on before. Why was the mask off? And not only that, but that little girl, I talked about that in my video that I did just before this one. I'll link it for you. But that little girl with the pink headband that she was talking to, that little girl had, she was diagnosed with childhood leukemia because her mom was interviewed on camera. And her mom even said that that little girl, the leukemia kept coming back. And that was the fourth time that the leukemia had come back. And that, the mom was so happy because, the visit from Harry and Meghan perked the child up. Well, of course it's going to perk the child up because a child's going to be excited when any celebrity shows up. And all the hospital staff would have to tell that little girl was, oh, hey, Princess Henry of the realm, because she's not Princess Markle or Meghan. She's only princess because she is married to a prince. So if they were to call her princess, she's Princess Henry. But anyway, I digress. Of course, a little girl's going to get excited when they say, oh, a member of the royal family is going to be here. Why don't you come down to the lobby, park yourself, and talk to her? But you see what I mean? So that's what people are seeing, and they don't like it. But she's going to deflect, and she's going to tell you that she's suffering from depression, anxiety, all of it. Just listen to this garbage. I'm sorry. It is garbage. Okay, here we go.
Or lack of appetite to even want to get out of bed or keep going. But this is the quote that it says, and I think it's important that you remember it, as I tried to as well. My wish for—
So this is all the stuff that she's suffering from, you guys. Because of the online criticism, she doesn't want to get out of bed. Well, as an adult who has chosen to have Netflix shows and podcasts and docuseries, and her husband writes tell-all books, you have to expect some level of criticism. I'm a tiny YouTuber. Okay, I have 26K, something like that. My comments are open. Type whatever you want in the comments. I mean, if you are like a true hater and just like saying mean, vile things, I'll probably block you. But I mean, if you've got something reason to say, like maybe you don't like what I'm saying about Meghan and you're like, hey, like I think she does blah, 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 blah pretty well. Okay, fair enough. I'll leave the comment there. You're entitled to your opinion. And, I'm out here on a public platform. She won't even open her comments up on Instagram. Okay. I mean, I finally got revenge, you guys. Finally got the damn book Revenge. Let me show you. Oh, sorry, not revenge. Betrayal. Finally freaking got Betrayal. I'm just not even in the first few chapters. And he's talking about this relentless PR machine, this night and day relentless PR machine that is behind this woman. And these people, their entire sole existence is to maintain her persona and to paint it as positive and to put out puff pieces and to scroll media, social media day and night to see what people are saying about her, to like take the temperature. Okay. So it's just, again, I'm telling you, it is the menopause, because I start on a rant and then I don't even remember what I'm saying, but you get it. You get it. So don't talk to us, Meghan, about how hard it is for you, because there are some things that you're going to have to expect come with this whole thing that you've got going. Your whole reason for existence is to put yourself out there. She has to expect some backlash. She has to accept some criticism, and she has to learn to put her big girl panties on, and her husband needs to too, and realize it. Why are so many people saying the same thing? But when you are not willing to accept, when you deflect, and when you live your life like this is what happens. So this is what I'm talking about when I say these two are doing the best they can because they don't know any other way. All they know is monetize your grievances and stick your fingers in your ears. La, 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 la. I'm not going to listen to you. They do it to their immediate family. What makes us all think she's not going to do it to us? Okay, here we go.
Right to as well. My wish for you is that you continue to be who and how you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness.
Did you notice how she looked at us? She's looking at us right now, right where I paused it. She's looking at us. We are a mean world. But she's going to put her fingers in her ears and just continue with her acts of kindness. Well, I guess acts of kindness involve just a couple hours stint at a women's homeless center in Australia, or a Royal Children's Hospital, or spending a couple hours with Invictus, veterans in Australia, or this mental health thing he was doing. That's their version of acts of kindness. But the acts of kindness always have a camera following them, don't they? And what did our Lord tell us? Don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing. Something to that effect. Sorry if I misquoted our Lord. Sorry, Lord. But point being, don't overthink the generosity and don't perform the acts of generosity for the sole purpose of show. Don't do it so that people will look at you and say, wow, what a wonderful, generous person we have here. It should just be because you want to help others, and it should not be self-serving. And there's a lot of us that obviously struggle with that. All human beings are going to struggle with it. We all want recognition. But when it gets to the point where the public, the need, the thirst for public recognition gets to this point, that's when you're veering into very, very dangerous territory. And these two are so dangerous because they are on a world stage, and we have to pray for them and we have to call this out. Maybe on their best day, they do think that whatever they're doing is somehow good and somehow serving, but I think it would have gone a lot further. I mean, what about just making a donation to the Rural Children's Hospital, or making a donation to that women's shelter, or just without all this pomp and circumstance of a rural tour, a fake quasi-rural tour in Australia? What about just putting stuff up on their website and saying, hey, this is a shelter in Australia that we found. They're doing great work. This is what they do. Let's shine a light, their favorite phrase, shine a light. Let's shine a light on them. And here's a direct link to donate. Just, you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take a genius to figure out ways that you can affect change and be a good human without all of this. So isn't that so funny that I paused it right when she's looking straight at us? Because we're mean. We're a mean world. And her acts of kindness are going to save us. Or, basically she's the bright light. And I look at her behavior and I think, okay, what am I doing in my own life personally where I'm trying to needlessly seek recognition where I shouldn't? And, we all do it. We all do it. Like, just in having a YouTube channel, I sometimes can find myself getting obsessed with logging into YouTube Studio. And for those of you who aren't creators and don't actively post videos, there's a whole thing on the back end called YouTube Studio where we go in and we check how our videos are doing, how many likes, who's watching, how many views, all of this. We get feedback. And I've fallen into the trap where I've gone in like probably 20 times a day looking, okay, how's my video doing? What's going on? And a lot of times I'll go in because I just love your comments, and I'll just like get on there right away and comment and like, oh my gosh, thank you. Da, da, da. But it's like, even that, it's like, I can get overly concerned with what other people think. And while I'm grateful for the community, don't get me wrong, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's like, you want to please and you want to do well. But again, that's just vanity metrics. I realize that if you check YouTube Studio 20 times a day, that's vanity on my part. That's just me seeking outside recognition, where I should be more focused on, okay, what's going on around me in my immediate world. Yes, it's cool that I have YouTube, but I mean, do you guys know what I'm saying? Where it's just, I don't want it to take over my life. People's approval shouldn't take over our lives to the extent that it colors how we act. But by the same token, there has to be a balance, because you don't want too much self-introspection. You want to serve others the way our Lord and Savior commanded us. So this here is just this constant outside validation that she's seeking. That's what these, in my opinion, narcissists do, where it's the constant outside validation seeking to the detriment of your own soul, really. So that's why I want you guys to feel better about this, because this is all this woman knows. That's all she knows. For whatever reason, I really do think growing up, and we all have our childhood wounds. I'm not just, saying that she's the only one, but for whatever reason, I don't think Meghan felt seen. I don't think that Meghan felt seen or heard, is what I'm saying. So that is why we see all this manifesting in the way that it does, the relentless pursuit of a perfect curated narrative. And you must love me. You must love me. And if you don't love me, you're the one with the problem. And that's extreme self-introspection, a la Oprah style, to the point where it's soul crushing. And it's not good. Okay, so she's talking about wanting to get out of bed. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. My wish for you. Here we go.
Continue to be who and how you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness, and to allow humor to...
There are mean people in the world. There are. And I really strive to make this channel not that. I don't believe that I'm needlessly criticizing her. I believe that I see a flawed human being, as we all are, but she is somebody that is constantly throwing herself in the public domain, and she has a world platform, and the message that she is conveying, I feel, is very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous because it is very, very selfish. So you have to humble yourself and listen to people. Meghan, please start listening to people. I really do think that if this woman went away for a little while, and if she wants to come back in 5 years, okay? Come back in 5 years and write a memoir, give some interviews, and talk about, I was consumed by image, consumed with the quest for fame, and I was miserable. And my life just became this constant thirst and need, this void, this black hole void that was never filled. And I realized why. You know what I mean? Just something like that. Like, she could come back. I mean, it's not like she's not an attractive person. It's not like she's not smart. It's not like she's not witty or charming enough to be able to do it. She is, but Lord help us. So she's going to astonish a mean world with her acts of kindness, guys.
Lighten the burden of your tender heart. And that's my wish for all of you as well. And you can do it. You can do it together. And I'm not going to say it's easy. I will personally tell you it is not easy. But you can do it. And my wish for all of you is to just continue.
So that's what we have, guys. But was it her relaying her story and her victimhood narrative to some college-age girls that were just so starstruck that they're just going to hang on her word anyway? What could she have done sitting in that room around those girls who, you know, they're training to be advocates to help other young people their age deal with things like mental health struggles, cyberbullying, all of it? What was stopping her from just listening to the people in the group? I mean, and maybe there's more of that wasn't on camera. I don't know. I'm just going on what I'm seeing here. And, you know, Dr. Phil used to say back in the day that the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. And what we've seen, past behavior of this woman, is that it's constantly back to her. It's constantly back to her. It's the constant relaying of the victim narrative. So I don't know if she really listened to anyone sitting in that circle or allowed them to share their experience. Not that the camera would care or, you know, show us any of that, because it's all like this fascination with, you know, this woman who's been participating in a decade-long clown show at this point. But I don't know. She didn't have to do this at all. You wouldn't catch Princess Catherine or William doing this at all. It's just sad. So to help you guys feel better about this, let's just remember that this is a person that is so insecure that she's constantly seeking outside validation. And this is someone that really, really needs to go away for a while and understand that she's a child of God. And as such, she doesn't need to do this. She doesn't need to do this. She doesn't need to posture to us. She doesn't need to participate in this. Let's just say a little prayer for her. And in the last video, I said the prayer is powerful. So what if every single one of us watching this video tonight just said, you know what, Lord, Meghan's got a need, an incessant need, because we've seen it for public approval, and it's constant and it's in our face. And her and Harry are paying a lot of money to a lot of PR operatives. Well, whether they're paying or the king's paying, the palace machine behind it remains to be seen. But someone's paying for the constant 24/7 PR bombardment that these two have been involved with for over a decade, and it's not working. But it's at the point where whatever they're paying these PR people to do that's not working could be money that could be so better suited and used elsewhere to actually deal with real charitable causes. So maybe just pray for like a Holy Spirit conversion to come upon this woman and her husband, that whatever money they're spending on PR, just take that money and just donate it to kids with leukemia, donate it to the muscular dystrophy, St. Jude's Hospital in the States. I mean, that is the best charity ever. Just anything. And pray to St. Jude. If you're Catholic and St. Jude is the patron saint of lost causes, because this display here more than ever shows me, at least, I don't know about you guys, but it shows me that she is still 100% knee deep. I mean, she's like chin deep at this point in this narrative of hers that she's the victim. And until she gets out of that victim narrative, nothing's going to change, because she is so privileged. And she was loved in the beginning. She really was. The British public, the American public, the Commonwealth, they were so excited to see her and Harry get married. I watched that wedding, and as soon as I saw that weird grin that she would not erase from her face, I just kind of felt something was up with her. I've always been an empath, where I feel like I can read people really well and I absorb others' emotions around me, which probably explains why I get so tired a lot of the time, because I just absorb everyone's emotions that are around me. But something to me felt off with her, but she was still afforded a ton of goodwill from people, and she squandered it and she wasted it. And until she gets out of this victim mentality, this is going to continue. So we need to pray for the come to Jesus moment for Meghan and for Harry, that they see that they are not victims, that they are truly, truly blessed, and that they need to cut this crapola out, because it's getting really, really old. So I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I also want to bring up really quick before I go, my Priscilla Presley Child Bride book read. I'm going to start uploading and revamping the previous episodes. Long story short, because I received the copyright strike on my Errol Flynn videos, and the copyright strike was regarding one photo that was from 1943 of Errol Flynn, that Warner Brothers identified as their intellectual property, and that's why they struck the short and took it down. And I had to make the executive decision to take down all those videos, because all those videos were peppered with a lot of photos, and there was no way that I could know which ones were Warner Brothers property and which ones weren't. That's why I took that all down. I do still have those episodes on my podcasts, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So if you want to go listen to them, you still can. So just go to, just type in Jennifer C on Spotify and Apple. And if you want to listen to my Errol Flynn videos, they're still there. But point being, Child Bride is coming back. I released chapters 1 through 7. So what I did was I just kind of edited a lot of stuff out so that it wasn't me reading the book word for word, because technically, and I know a lot of people on YouTube do this, but because I already had a strike against me, I don't want to take the chance. But if you read a book word for word on YouTube, you are just asking for trouble, because if the publisher or author decided to go after you for doing that, because that is still considered their intellectual property, they can. And that is seen as something that if you were listening to someone read a whole book, that probably would make you less inclined to buy the said book, right? So they could argue that legally. So I went back, and I'm going back right now through episodes 1 through 7 and just cutting out a bunch of stuff and making it mostly the commentary bits on that. So I'm going to start releasing the Child Bride but they're going to be released as recaps, chapters 1 through 7. So just watch for those as they become released. So that's what's going on with Child Bride. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, share the video. I appreciate your love and support. Please, please hype. If you have the hype button, get my channel out there. YouTube doesn't like Jesus Christ, you guys. So if anyone proclaims him as Lord, your videos get buried basically. And you know, it is what it is. So I've babbled on long enough. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.